Well, the conversation about the Bruins continues. Just talked to Jim Moore. A couple of his stars will join us on set in just a few moments as we examine the Bruins schedule. I remember seeing that game against UVA early last season. Obviously a victory for the Bruins, and Cavaliers try to return the favor. Not sure that's going to happen. Just take a look at the rest. I mean, this is a loaded South division. We continue to talk about the Pac-12 South as being the best division in all of college football. It's tough sledding for any of these teams to navigate. The Bruins, once again, tried to earn a spot in a Pac-12 championship game. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Jake Brendel, senior center, joins us on set. Deon Hollins, the junior linebacker, also with us. And guys, it's great to have you. We saw you have some fun dressing up in our digital lamp. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Jim Moore, Jake, was sitting right where you were a few minutes ago, and I had asked him about the quarterback spot. He gave me a political answer. I don't want that answer. You're on that line. Tell me, who's going to be the quarterback this year?
To be honest, I'm going to have to give you a political answer, too.
Whoever earns it, right?
Yeah, whoever's the best is going to be on the field for us.
How has it been, though? Because we keep hearing about guys, and obviously Rosen's a younger guy. You have a guy like Jerry Neuheisel. We saw what he was able to accomplish. But just in terms of the comfort level, is there an advantage to you guys knowing that there's so many guys that are returning, that are starting, that you maybe don't want to take a chance with a younger guy?
I mean, of course, just on the offensive line, for example, we have 5 returning guys, that have played substantial reps. So just having that, that solid group up in front of the quarterback, no matter who's back there, I think that they'll have a good chance to be successful.
Deon, nickname is Ferrari D, we've heard. Want to know where that came from, but also heard that you guys have a week off now before training camp, and you're on your way home, and you got the call you're coming to media day. For your first time here, what has it been like for you in this experience and having the spotlight, being on the stage here in LA?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous experience. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, so it's definitely great.
And Ferrari D, I mean, clearly you got speed off the edge. Who gave you that nickname?
My father. Yes, sir. He's eccentric like that, so.
I like it.
Jake, you didn't have your coach, your offensive line coach during spring ball. How did that thing work? I understood you took some leadership there. Tell me a little bit about spring ball, and I understand you've become quite the vocal leader there on the offensive line.
Yeah, I kind of tried to do my best at filling the absence of Coach Clem. He brings a lot of expertise to the table when it comes to coaching. He was in the NFL for a lot of years, and he also played on some great teams. So I just did my best to kind of put my coaching spin on the situation and just try to set us up for success.
Yeah, what's the meeting room like with your position? You've got Kenny Young, you got Miles Jack, you've got you got a new linebacker coach, right? You've got a new defensive coordinator in Tom Bradley. What's the energy like in that group? Because you guys have probably the most athletic linebacker, outside linebacker, edge rusher athletic type of group in the entire Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fiery room. We have a big legacy to live under. Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, Jordan Summerall, those guys, they paved the way. They've showed us the blueprint in terms of how to operate and things like that. So, and just with Coach Bradley adding him, to the spin, he's real. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, really smart, really wise, and just Coach White. He brings that young aspect, to everything. So it's definitely an experience that I wouldn't trade for the world.
Deon, I know that I read about you coming off the edge in the last part of the season. You were outstanding doing that. I think I know the answer, but coming off the edge or dropping in coverage?
Well, I'd like to say I'm trying to get, equally versed in both. But, that's one of the things I worked on this whole offseason, coverage concepts, working with Miles, working with Coach White, just to, get the intricacies down. So I feel as if I made, a lot of strides.
Deon, one of our colleagues is Ronnie Lott. He has an award, the Lott Impact Award. Last 2 years, you mentioned legacy and tradition. Last 2 winners have hailed from UCLA. Is that something you think about?
Oh, I mean, all the time. Just the last 2 winners of the award have been from UCLA. So, of course, I want to make it a perfect trifecta. But, I just enjoy the award because it focuses on things off the field, community service work, classroom, things like that. So that's I definitely hold that award in, the highest of esteem because, it focuses on, just not being a football player. It's being, a contributor to the community.
Jake, Pac-12 fans got to see the drive last year, you on your motorcycle, right? We also got to see an intricate look at Jim Mora. we've been around that program a lot, and it seems as though the players, that you guys look at him with this reverence. What is it like to play for him? 'Cause we know he's an extremely demanding coach, but it seems like the respect level is different than a lot of other programs that we've been around.
Yeah, he has this fire about him that it's kind of hard to define. You know, he approaches every day with this energy and this excitement, and he's just never down, which is something that you can always look up to as a player. And just if you're ever in a bad situation or you just kind of feel like defeated a little bit, you just look at him for that little punch that you need to just get back up and start going again.
Jake, the thing that I read about your sister Lauren, is she still presently in the Air Force? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, she's stationed in San Antonio right now, and she's about to be promoted captain. So,
wow.
I mean, I'm tremendously excited for her, and she just got accepted into PA school, so she's going to be doing that for the next 2 years, and then hopefully on to bigger and better things.
Deon, this defense, you guys returned pretty much everybody. You got backups that really were kind of starters. You played a lot of players, rotating a lot of defensive players. What do you need to do to get over the hump and beat Stanford defensively?
I feel as if, the biggest thing that's been holding us back, play-wise is, focus. I feel as if we stay focused and stay in our own 3-foot world, worry about our own job, not try to overcompensate for anyone else, we'll be fine. I feel, coming to Stanford, I feel as if, we, try to see the light at the end of the tunnel instead of, working towards our opponent that's in front of us. And I feel like that's one of the things we learned from this year.
Jim Mora made reference a few minutes ago about the team's maturity. He said this is the most mature team we've had since he's been here. Last year, the conversation about the Bruins was potentially one of those Final Four teams and maybe even winning a national championship. I think that conversation nationally maybe has dropped back a little bit, but knowing how mature you guys are and maybe being able to handle some of the criticism and really handle what happened a year ago, what is the expectation level? What are those conversations like right now in the locker room as you look ahead to this season?
To be honest, we just set the same goals that we always set for ourselves. We always just want to make it into the Pac-12 championship, so win the Pac-12 South and then make it into the Pac-12 championship and win that. We really don't want to focus on those long-term goals until we obtain those short-term goals.
I want to ask both of you guys, because the Rose Bowl, since Jim Moore has taken over this program, has started rocking again. What's it like for that? I mean, the students have been coming out, you had nice crowds. Can you feel as though UCLA is becoming a basketball and football school?
Yeah, I guess I'll speak on it first. It's definitely there's nothing like it in the world. Sometimes pregame, you're walking out on the field, you look around, the stadium is empty, and it's such a surreal feeling. And then when it's full, bursting the capacity, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Of course, we have to ask them about the crosstown rivalry.
Oh yeah.
You have, Jake, in your career, you have dominated that. What is that like living in a UCLA student-athlete's shoes, knowing that you've dominated that rivalry the last few seasons?
It's just something that you can have in your back pocket. Like the city cares so much about this rivalry, and all of our fans always come out and show great support during those games. So, we just hope to do it again this year and the next year, and just keep on the tradition.
So you really feel it in the city? Because I think of Los Angeles, I think about the Lakers and the Clippers, but you guys really know football season. Once that matchup is coming, the conversation, the buzz in Los Angeles and Southern California, it's almost tangible?
Yes, definitely.
That's got to be a special
For sure,
feeling.
yeah. You can definitely cut the animosity in with a knife, for sure.
Helps that you have some bragging rights, and hopefully, at least for you guys, that continues this upcoming season. Wish you nothing but the best of luck this upcoming year. Really appreciate
Thank you.
it.
I appreciate it.